So the first civilization that you're gonna learn is English. Now, English is one of those most simple civ that you can play. And let's see like a build order that's simple, very, very simple, easy to do. Okay. What we're going to do is very simple. So English loves to start with some, you know, just like every normal civ, loves to go some sheep. Maybe you can even pre-calculate your buildings if you wish to, and now you see that you have 100 wood, so you can spam that 100 wood and build like farms around your base, right? So this is a really good start for the English. So what you can do is that you build a too early farm, right, with your villagers. The reason behind that, because you save food, you save the sheep food. You don't want to go pro scouting meta. So English is really good still, that if you don't want to play the pro scout, you're gonna have enough wood to build a house and mining camp, as you can see, and the two farm, which is again the reason why we are building that is saving sheep. So you're gonna have more sheep food under your TC, but you still want to do these 2 8 villager with your English base. So I'm gonna get one more villager on food, and I'm gonna have 8 villager on food total and 2 on gold, right? So this is a really simple to do, very easy. It's very English style. You will get a lot of economy if you are doing this. There's nothing cheesy or sneaky, you know what I mean? This is just a simple English build. Now, what I'm going to show you, these are going to be very, very important. So first, because we can't build a lumber camp, what we are going to do is actually building, gathering the wood around our THC, the stagger trees. We are gathering them first. So we are almost up to the next stage as well, and we are aging up with 3 villager with the council hall. You will see. Try to place your council hall so it's not in the way of the mill that you will have very, very soon. Build it up, because you don't have the extra gathering. So like, this is fine. This is perfectly fine, and you will see why. So you will not have the extra gathering speed on your farms unless you build a mill, right? So the faster gathering speed comes with the mill. So when you have the mill, then you have the faster gathering speed. But you're asking me, why did we build a farm in Dark Age then if we don't have the extra gathering speed? Well, again, the reason behind that, because we are increasing the longevity of our sheep, right? So the sheep will stay longer, and you don't need to go back to your TC very, very fast with the scout to deliver the sheep, because you are still eating the sheep under your TC thanks to the 2 farms we built it. So slowly we are building the mill as well, and we are very, very slowly focusing to build a barrack, because we need to make spearman and a longbow together. So you can have like the same amount of spearman as a longbow, or you can have more longbow. That's fine as well. But the biggest key is not like you need to do everything perfectly, because the biggest problem you will face when you are playing as the English, that you try to go everything perfectly, right? Oh my god, I solved this build, dude. I won't get the timings like insanely, like a top tier player, you know? No, you don't need to. You can just do a small timing. You can just have 3 villager to build up the council hall. You don't need like 3 minute 30 to 3 minute 55 age up. You're gonna be perfectly fine. After that, what you're going to do, as I talk about, is you are building your barrack, right? You are bringing back the scout. You are making your little longbows. So what you need to be aware, that you don't want to send out your longbows if you are playing against a civilization that can make early horsemen very, very fast. Like, let's say I'm playing against Delhi right now, right? So I don't want to send out my longbows immediately if I play against Delhi. I want to wait for my barracks, I want to queue up a spearman, and after that, okay, now it's time to, you know, like I have here my barrack, time to make the spearman. When I have spearman, then I go out, because the enemy will have Ghazi Raiders, and Ghazi Raiders are insanely strong against range units. So you are waiting for your spearman, then we are running out, right? Also, what you can do is on your gold, if you don't want to check your gold villagers non-stop, you can build like small little walls, or you don't build the houses here and you just build the walls like this and this. Or if you have a little bit good reaction time, you can build so you can build a tower there. You can research like a wheelbarrow. The two important upgrades that you need to get, and you always wish to get, like wheelbarrow, horticulture, or tree and W brodax. So these are the most important economical upgrades. You don't need to rush out blacksmith upgrades yet. So when you are getting to your opponent's base, and it's not the civilization that likes to make a very, very early horseman, and your archers can arrive here in time, you need to look for opportunities to where to do damage, right? So let's say if it's like an Ayubid or a Basid, where you can do damage to the berry villagers. It's fine if you don't kill his villager. You don't need to kill it, but if you kill it, that's even better. If you kill the villagers on his gold, that's perfect. But if the villagers are just running away, then it's fine. If he's running away, that's fine. Let him to run away and that's it. So, after that, well, let's say the opponent went away with his villagers, he is not on the berries, then you are trying to find some location, some position. So what you need to do is actually finding where you can like latch onto the enemy and like, okay, I can do damage to his base, right? How can you do that? Well, it's very simple. Let's say that's his wood line. So what you can do, it's very, very nice, very, very simple. You can go to, like, let's say on the other side. If he didn't wall, you can go to the other side like this, or you come from this side and you can come here with your scout. Now that what people forget, English scout has a campfire named ability. By the way, at home you want to non-stop get your upgrades, you want everything in time. So try to get your upgrades, try to get more farms, build your farms and stuff. So what you can do, if you are playing with this English, you have the scout that set up camp, and you're gonna get like a really good vision. And now I have vision over his wood line. Now I can just come here and just shoot his villagers on the food, right? Which will forces him to get your wood somewhere else, or to make units and push into your army, right? So the very, very important, oh, what is that? So very important thing that never forget, that your scout has an ability called setup camp. Now the setup camp is not just like the reason why this is so good, because you can use it with the scout, right? Look at that, they are so smart. I'm gonna show you the other reason. So a scout has the same vision range as a longbow, right? So they share the same vision range, which means you can just leave your longbows nearby, put down the setup camp, and look at this. So just put down the setup camp, and just you're gonna see like insane amount, right? So you can see I have the camp here, and my longbows vision range is crazy. Look at that. Look at the vision range that my longbows get from the setup camp. And many people forget about this. This is a very important ability that the English has. I accidentally put a little bit way too many villagers to the gold. Like a little bit overflowing, but that's fine. At the same time, don't forget to non-stop make units out of your buildings. And just try to do a little bit of damage. If you want to go like hardcore into the feudal, you can build another barrack. You can make some Menaton from their second barrack. And the biggest problem that people do when I see them or coaching them, that they are over making the control groups. So many people has like 6, 7, like there was a gold guy who had like 6 control group. But the reason why he was losing, I'm not saying you should not do control groups, you should do control groups. But actually the reason why he was struggling and losing his games, because he spent more time control grouping his shit than actually playing, right? So you can go to Conquer without control grouping like crazy amount. I know how to control group, but sometimes I'm lazy as hell, I'm not control grouping. Look at me, I'm 2200 elo. And seeing me doing any control group is like once a year, you know what I mean? So you don't need to do crazy control grouping. Sometimes you can just use your hotkeys, hotkeys for town center, hotkeys for all economical buildings, hotkeys for landmarks and town center, hotkey for all military building. And what I love to use, like right now I can't make, if I select all military buildings, right, I can't make spearman. So what do? You either can hotkey each of your buildings, that's a really good, or you can use the tab. So I love to do tab. I'm a tab user, so I'm just tabbing through my production buildings, but really fast. Let's say I select all military building, tab, and I'm here and I'm making spearman already, right? So with a scout, what you can do is you go to a location, like let's say here, and you click setup camp. Now that you click here setup camp, or let's say you place it like this. Okay, so why is it so good that we have a setup camp like this? Now, if your opponent, like let's say we are camping the gold of our opponent, right? And we need to know when he goes to the next gold. Now, there are 2 options that you can do. You do a setup camp like this, and look at that. You will see the villagers going to the resource and gathering. Or if he sends the villagers to, like, let's say here, you can just click on the gold and you will see the number here is going down. So when the number is going down, you know that these players getting resources here because the campfire is giving you the information about it, right? Or the campfire here on this gold, like literally show me that he is actually getting gold here. Okay, so this is a two really good way to play English and utilize all your things you have. And also don't forget to use some manatoms as well, and because they are very strong. English, both landmark are very, very good, very, very strong. You don't need to use the white tower always. You can use the King's Press as well for your second TC. So you don't need to get the stone for the second TC. You can get the stone for actually keep and do some map control on the map. So when your economy is really strong, really good, yeah, getting all your economical upgrades as well, you can focus on a little bit walling your side to understand what do you have on the map. So like you send like let's say 1 or 2 villager, like let's say even 1 villager is good, and you can just start walling like resource to resource, or if you don't, you want to do a little bit more aggressive walling because you have let's say map control, right? You are controlling the map, your opponent is not really leaving his side of the map. You can do some aggressive walling. You can go outside and just wall like this and wall like that. That's much more aggressive than walling here and walling like this, right? So if you don't have map control, try to wall a little bit much more safer. If you have map control, you can go aggressive walls. You can even wall like this as well, like this. And this is also not bad. So don't forget, you need to wall. You will wall a lot. So during your games, you will wall like crazy amount, and you should to make sure you will not get any sneaky raid into your base. And don't forget, you can use your longbows around the campfire like this. Let me show you. So I have one longbow here, right? Let's say, oh my god, I lost my scout, but I still have a campfire, right? So what you can do, if you still have that campfire and the enemy didn't destroy it, you can use one longbow, let me show you, to get vision, like this. You are getting vision with that longbow, and you can use the other longbow to shoot this villager. Look at that, look at that. So you can do this. Because let's say I lost my scout, right? So I lost my scout and I needed some vision, and that longbow was giving so much vision that you easily see his wood camp. Thanks to the campfire again. So if you can, whenever, use the campfire because it's very, very strong. When you are going into the castle age, you can still use longbows. You immediately research inside the council hall because you get in 30 seconds. Otherwise, it would be 1 minute if you just research it from a normal building, right? And what you need to make sure always during your games, to have a lot of fun, right? So, farm, villagers to the farm, gathering wood, villagers to the farm, gathering wood. And when you get to your castle age, try to send just a few, like 6-7 villagers to stone, let's say. And try to build keeps around the large gold. Or if you are playing on Himayama where there is no large gold, try to just somewhere in the middle build a keep and try to gather the gold with like 15 or 20, at least 15-20 villagers. Because the reason behind that, and like you are watching pro players doing this as well, because you want to gather that gold from the opponent. If I go here and gather this gold, that would be crazy good as well, right? Because I'm gathering green's gold. But you can just go to the middle, you can secure, like, let's say, both large gold, and you can gather them up as well, because you are still denying the gold out of your opponent. So if you follow these small rules of non-stop making villagers, that's the most important. Non-stop making villagers during the whole game, making your units, the longbows, the spearmans, then you're gonna have less problem. So to not forget to make villagers, I advise you to control group your TC to number 1. Number 1 is gonna be the most closest number to your finger all the time, right? You can press it with your ring finger. That's what you call, right? Ring finger, right? And middle finger, you can use both of your finger to press one. Doesn't matter which one you use. But the number 1 is gonna be really close, really close to number 1, and you can just boom. Okay, villagers are in queue. Or if you have global queue turned on, if you don't, then go to settings, try find global queue and turn it on. If you are on 2TC, you always should see number 4. If you are on 1TC, make sure it's number 2, okay? Again, if you are on 1TC, always make sure you see number 2 there. If you are 2TC, make sure you always see number 4. With that, it helps you to not forget to make villagers non-stop and to just check the number on the villager, right? So always have 4 villagers in the queue when you have 2TC, and always have 2 villagers in the queue when you are 1TC. Can I use my toe? I mean, listen. Feel free to use whatever. I'm not gonna judge. So yeah, that's how simple is actually to play with English. And to, like, if you don't want to do this 2TC into king, but you are a little bit more aggressive player, a little bit more aggression with the English civilization, right? This is exactly all the little things that you need to do during the feudal, during the castle as well. You can make a few stable, you can make actually horsemen as well. But what you can do is making men at arms, making spearmen. You have a really strong men at arms, right? Making longbows to snipe out the enemy crossbowmen or snipe out the enemy archers. So you just need to mix up your army in castle. On feudal, it's fine if you use only spearmen, men-at-arms, and lumbowmen. And in castle, it's okay to use lumbowmen, spearmen, men-at-arms, either crossbow or horsemen. It's fine to use. You don't need to do knights unless you are doing some 2TC fast castle or 1TC white tower rush. If you do some sort of stuff like that, then it's okay to make knights. But if you do this little bit of aggression, going up to H3 with that, with this TC option, then you don't need to make knights at all, like literally at all. So that's how simple it is actually to play with English. Me with 4 villagers queued up in one TC and 0 in the other one, listen. But yeah, that's how simple to play with English. And that's how you literally have to do.